thank you, Nasarg and Louis, and Phil a little earlier. Thank you very much for coming and also for including Renesas here. Phil, there you are. So Renesas Electronics America, we're the bare metal. We're the hardware that everything runs on, or everything has to run on hardware. We're what needs to be secured as well as the software. So we're a very relevant piece, we and other companies like us. So we're a semiconductor company. We make the chips. We make the microchips. Renesas is a founding member of the Y-Sun Alliance. So really what we have here is quite a group of people, quite a group of organizations and intents, which is really characterized in the demo that Louis showed and in the demo that's in the back. And just to say, the demo that's in the back, since we're all at DistribuTECH, is relevant in that what Louis showed here was a temperature sensor going up, sending its data up to the cloud. Back there we have a meter, an actual power meter, that we have, a design that we have in production with very, very many companies around the world that are actually deploying these meters as revenue meters with utility companies. And so what we have back there is a kit for people to evaluate that design, but we have implemented it in that demo with the Intrinsic ID puff, and so afterwards we'll be able to demonstrate basically exactly the same thing, but showing the meter data going into the cloud and then the potential for that metering data to be used for other purposes other than just for revenue metering. So Renesas, we're a broad range supplier of microcontrollers. My presentation won't be as much about security, but we tend not to be known. We're sort of the inside. Everyone knows the Intel inside. Not a lot of people know the Renesas inside. So Intel is #1 in microprocessors. We're actually #1 in microcontrollers. So basically everything else that is electronic and that has intelligence needs a microcontroller. So that camera, these lights, your cars, everything, our microwave ovens, right down to the watches that we wear. So these are the markets that we address. So basically every market. We're dominant in the automotive market, but we also have the largest share in microcontrollers in the energy management sector for semiconductors. So we're dominant there as well. Just reiterating, these are our competitors. This is right out of our corporate presentation, so it's not something that is my opinion, but this is what we're presenting to the world. So we are #1 in microcontrollers. And what a microcontroller is really a microprocessor with all of the interesting stuff taken away. So no external memory, there's no operating system, there could be a real-time operating system, but these are very targeted devices that are programmed to do very specific things with the absolute minimum amount of memory and minimum amount of processing required to do the task, whatever it is. And that makes them very inexpensive devices, but extremely powerful devices that go into everything. And because they go into everything, they need to be secured. So we recognize that, and is why we have partnered with Intrinsic ID. And we also have our own alternate security solutions as well, all to give the choice to the customer of what works for them the best. And we're quite big. We're in the top 10 in the world for semiconductor companies. So we have a good reach into all the markets. Our product portfolio, it's all microcontrollers. So we have some analog and power devices. We have a few devices that go into the power supply. About a year ago, we bought a company called Intersil that some of you may be familiar with, a very, very old American company in the semiconductor space that's very strong in analog and power. So they've supplemented our EMS portfolio and sort of the lower power, not low voltage in terms of the distribution network, which I always have to explain to my colleagues, but the low voltage in terms of the microcontroller world, which is the 1.6 volt and up world, rather than the 6,000 volt and down world. And we have a smorgasbord of devices, very, very low power, 16-bit and 8-bit devices, all the way up to very large ARM-based microprocessors, in fact, and a whole development platform based on the ARM core and various varieties of the ARM core. As far as our relationship with Intrinsic ID and therefore with GlobalSign, we have implemented the SRAM PUF into a series of our microcontrollers. Our proprietary, what we call proprietary, but the RX core is probably in half a dozen devices that are in your home. So it's an extremely ubiquitous core that's been around for a very long time, that's well supported by us. And so we have it in a wide family or a wide number of devices out of that family. And we've also implemented the SRAM PUF technology in our Synergy ARM-based development platform. And then we deploy these devices into the energy world. So we have reference designs, we have prototypes of products that a company may build, just to inspire companies and to get them to understand that all of the pieces are available from us in terms of sort of the core functionality of a meter or of a communications module, including the security. So, and including the WiSUN, including the wireless piece, which includes the communication piece, or is what's part of our offering in the communication space. But particularly in energy, we see WiSUN as being really dominant in the sense of what the benefits are and how it differentiates from other the sub-gigahertz LPWAN technologies. Because of the security, but also for other reasons, the meshability and the channel hopping, etc. So we feel very confident and comfortable in the relationship with the security partners who we have for this segment space, for my segment space, energy, and for the communication side as well as bringing in our own products and solutions that address the actual functionality of metering or distribution automation. Functionality for protection and control. And just one more slide. You can see all of this in our booth 824 as well, all of these pieces. So we provide evaluation systems for our chips, such as the board that Louis has demonstrated, that's based on our RX 231 chip. And it's available on the internet. You can get it from distributors, so your development teams, your design teams can purchase the board, or if they get in touch with Renesas, and it's an opportunity that we're very happy to support, they may get the boards for no charge, just because we want to get the boards out there and people developing with our devices and with our partners' IP. So we take the development community from the chip through to boards to get them farther through into their development, and we also provide, at least for the meters, fully functional IEC and ANSI spec meters that customer really just needs to add their application layer to it to create a final product. And that's it. That's Renesas. We're the non-Intel inside, and it's been a pleasure to talk to you today.
Thank you for watching this GlobalSign presentation. For more videos on identity and PKI, follow one of the links on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with the latest video content.